everyone and welcome. Today's collar is going to be an adjustable dog collar, so I will be using a Thane adapter for this collar. If you're not familiar with an adapter, I'll leave a link below. I show you guys how you can make your own and where you can get your supplies from. For this collar today, I am going to be using some beads. I got these beads a while back at Paracord Galaxy and I really like them. They come in a variety of colors in a pack and they're not very expensive, and I think they look really good on a collar and they sit really nicely on the collar as well. So for this collar, I have my double cow's hitch hooked up to a mint green. If you're not familiar with how to do the double cow's hitch, I'll leave a link below. I show you guys how you can hook it up to the square rings or a round ring that you might be using for an adapter, as well as I show you guys how to do it for a quick release buckle. And if you're not familiar with how to hook it up to your jig, I go over that as well, all in the same video, and I'll leave that down below for you guys. So for the cords that I'm going to be using today, again, I have 550 paracord in mint green. I have 550 in Kelly green. I also have 550 in banana. I have also 550 in yellow and turquoise striped, and 275 in white. The first cord that I'm going to be adding is the banana, and what I want to do here is I'm going to loosen up my cow's hitches just a little bit, and I am using a paracord needle. If you don't have one, it's quite alright. You can melt the tip of your cord to create a hard cap to push through the cow's hitches. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go right in between both of these cow's hitches, just like that. I'm going to take my cord to the other side and bring the middle of the cord to the top of my work. The next cord that I'm going to add is the Kelly green, and I'm going to do the exact same thing that I did with the banana. I'm just going to go in between those two cow's hitches, bring it to the other side, and bring the middle of the cord to the top of my work. Next I'm going to add my yellow and turquoise striped cord, and what I want to do here is I want to go in between this first cow's hitch, go underneath these two stitches to the left, and come up this second cow's hitch. So I'm going to go in between that first one, go underneath the two, come up the second cow's hitch, bring this to the other side, and bring the middle of the cord to the top of my work. And the last cord that I'm going to add is going to be the white 275 cord, and I'm going to do exactly what I did with the striped cord. I'm just going to go in between that first cow's hitch, go underneath those two stitches, up through the second cow's hitch, bring it to the other side, and bring the middle to the top of my work. Alright, once you have all of your cords at the middle, at the top of your work, you can tighten everything up. You can also roll up all of your ends if you'd like. It does make it a little bit easier, but you don't want to roll up the white cord because that's where we're going to be slipping on the bead, so that one has to stay loose. And once you have all that taken care of, we can just really get started. So the first cord that I'm going to work is the mint green on my right side, and what I want to do is I want to go underneath this first cord, right up the middle, and then over the second cord on my left. So I'm really just going right up the middle and then over, but you do go under that first cord. Next I'm going to take the cord on my left, the mint green, and I'm going to go underneath the cord that I just worked. Then I want to go under the first cord now, which is the left cord because it's the mirror image, and then I'm going to come up the middle and then over the second cord, which is on my right. So I'm basically again going right up the middle and then over. Next I'm going to take my Kelly green on my right side, and what I want to do here is I want to go underneath, like underneath all of my work and come up the middle. So I'm going to go underneath all my work right up the middle. Then I have this loop right here that is on my right side that I made with the mint. I'm going to go down that loop. Take the one on my left now, and I'm going to go underneath, again, underneath all my work, right up the middle. Underneath, right up the middle. I have this loop right here on my left side that I made. I'm going to go down that loop. Next, I'm going to take these two horizontal mint green pieces in the middle, and you can pick up on them a little bit. And now I'm going to take my yellow, or my banana. Next I'm going to take the banana on my right side. And what I want to do here is I'm going to go over and around these two horizontal pieces and then out the right. So I'm going to go over and around and out the right. I'm going to take the one on the left now. And I'm going to go over and around, but I'm going to go out the left. So over and around and out the left. And I'm going to take my striped cord, and I'm going to do the same exact thing that I just did with the banana. I'm going to go with my right striped cord, I'm going to go over and around and out my right. Take the one on my left now, go over and around and out my left. And then we have our 275 white cord, and you're going to just repeat those steps. You're going to take the one on the right, go over and around, and then out the right. Take the one on the left, go over and around, and out the left. And then you can tighten it up. Okay, once you have it tightened up, we can start that weave all over again. So I'm going to be starting off on my right side with the mint. And I'm basically going to go again right up that middle and then over. Take the one on the left, go underneath the cord that you just worked. And again, right up the middle and then over. Next I'm going to take the Kelly green on my right side, and I want to go underneath all of my work and right up that middle. And then I have my loop here that I just made. I'm going to go down that loop. Take the one on the left, go underneath, right up the middle, and then I have my loop on the left, and I'm going to go down that loop. Find those two horizontal pieces in the middle. You can pick up on them a little bit. Next, I'm going to take my banana, and what I want to do here is I'm going to go over and around those two horizontal pieces and then out the right. So I'm taking the banana on the right, I'm going over and around and out the right. Take the banana on the left, and you're going to go over and around but out the left. Over and around, out the left. And for the striped cord, we're just going to repeat those steps again. Take the one on the right, go over those horizontal pieces, around and out the right. Take the one on the left and go over and around and out the left. And then repeat those steps again with the white 275. Take the one on the right, go over and around, out the right. Take the one on the left, go over and around and out the left, and then tighten it up. Okay, so once you have that nice and tight, we can start all over again. This weave, I'm going to put on a bead this time. So that would be the only difference in this whole weave, is that this time I'm going to start putting on my beads. So I'm going to take my mint green on the right, and I'm going to go right up the middle and then over. Take the one on the left, go underneath the cord that you worked, right up the middle and then over. Next, I'm going to take the Kelly green, I'm going to go underneath all my work, right up the middle, and then down that loop on my right. Take the one on the left, go underneath, right up the middle, down that loop. Pick up on those horizontal pieces. You don't have to pick up on those horizontal pieces, but I do find it easier when you're just wrapping those cords around to pick it up a little bit. So I'm going to take my banana yellow now, and I'm going to go over and around those two horizontal pieces and out the right. Take the one on the left, go over and around and out the left. Repeat those steps with the striped cord. You're going to go over and around and out the right. Take the one on the left, go over and around, out the left. Okay, so now I'm going to put on my bead, and my bead is going to go on both cords. And you're just going to bring your bead to your collar. And once you have your bead to the top, what you want to do is make sure that your cords aren't crisscrossed in any way, because it can happen. And then you're going to just repeat the steps that you were taking before. You're going to take the one on the right. You're going to go over those two horizontal pieces and out your right. Oops. And then you're going to take the one on your left, and you're going to go over and around and out your left. And then you're going to tighten it up. And once you have your bead on nice and tight and everything is tightened up, you can start that weave all over again. So I'm going to be going every other weave, I'm going to be placing a bead on. So I went down about 3 more weaves. I put another bead on so you can see the spacing in between. I told you that I'm doing every other weave, and I wanted to also show you a bigger portion of it done. So this is what it's looking like so far, and I'm just going to continue the same pattern all the way down until I get to the end. And when I get there, I'll show you guys how I do my tie off and what it looks like when it is completely done. Alright guys, I'm at the end of my collar. I took it off the jig, and now we can weave in the top cords, which are going to be the banana yellow, the striped, and the 275 cords. So I'm going to start with my banana on my right side, and you have a gap in between your work and your 2 cow hitches, and you're going to want to stick your cord in that gap. So I'm going to do the other banana yellow on my left side, and I will also do the 2 striped cords right in that gap. For the 275 cords, what we're going to want to do is, you have a small hole in between your 2 cow's hitches, and you're going to go in that hole with both of your 275 white cords. And you're just going to bring that to the other side. Okay, once you've done that, we can start to cut and melt. So I'm going to start off on my side, and I'm going to go about 1/2 inch up from the collar. I'm going to fray them out. I will melt them, and then I will squish them down with my butter knife. So I'm going to start with the top one. Be careful, they can catch on fire. It does happen. Then I'm going to squish this one down. I will melt the bottom cord now. And I'm going to squish that one down as well. I'll do the same for the opposite side. Alright, once you have your two sides done, you can start on your middle cords. I'm going to start with the two cords that are on the bottom, which are the striped, and I'm going to start with the one to the left. I'll cut that about the same length, maybe a little bit longer. I'm going to fray this one out. Then I'm going to melt it and squish it down. I'll do the other striped next, then I will do the banana yellow, and I will start on my left and go to my right, and then I'll do the same with the 275 cords. Be aware, you might want to cut the 275 cord just a little bit longer because it does melt faster. Alright, once you have that taken care of, you can use your collar as is. You can put on your adapter and use it the way it is. I like to put some Gorilla Glue on my ends, and I use clear non-foaming Gorilla Glue, and I just put it on the area that I just melted everything down. And I'll smear it around with my finger. So I use, I'm not sure if I said this, I use clear non-foaming Gorilla Glue. It is waterproof, so if your dog goes swimming, it won't come off. And I'm going to let this dry for a few hours, and once it's dry, I will show you guys what the finished look looks like with the Thane attached.